Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. Let's get into this. So, as you know, the Giants have signed Jameis Winston as a quarterback for this team. 2 years, $8 million with the chance for it to go to $16 million. People are saying they're not out of the running for Aaron Rodgers. This completely makes them out of the running for Aaron Rodgers. One, because of the timing. Think about it. Rodgers spends 6 hours there at the facility, going over parameters of the deal and what could be. The Giants then all of a sudden turn and pivot and go to Jameis Winston. These things, you can say that they're still in, but let's be real. Jameis Winston's a bigger presence than a Mason Rudolph. Rodgers comes here. He's going, whether we like it or not, I just think the personalities are going to be too big. You know what I mean? While as Mason Rudolph, while he has played games, is not the personality that Jameis Winston is. And I just think, to me, at least, I could be wrong, I think they're out of the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, in my eyes. Plus, they work with Pittsburgh. They're family. They're intertwined. You never know. Through the grapevine, they got a text saying, hey, you know what? Rodgers is definitely going to be coming here. So that could be what you're seeing, and that's why the move was made. Those type of things do happen. And I do believe in timing. I do. I think when you're talking about Rodgers and he goes right to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh, all of a sudden, he mysteriously shows up in Pittsburgh, and he's there for a long time, and they're going over the deal, and he hasn't left, quote-unquote, with a deal, but things aren't bad, the meeting isn't bad. They said, you know what, let's do this. And let's get Jameis Winston, and let's work on getting the young quarterback. Because, again, Aaron Rodgers doesn't afford you the benching that we talked about. And Russell Wilson's also probably a little bit more expensive as well, and probably not going to be here a long time. With Jameis Winston, you get a guy that can be a starter for you for the next 2 years if you don't get any of the quarterbacks, you can still have Jameis Winston be a capable starter. And the Giants are going to be fun to watch again. So that little tidbit, I'm looking forward to watching Jameis Winston out there and see what he can do with this offense. And Brian Daboll, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He was a lot of fun. He was pretty good with New Orleans, an actual quarterback coach. Last year, he had some games where he was in the lead, and then, they were fine. But then, of course, sometimes when you play from behind or you make mistakes, you tend to have to throw your way back into games. But he did win some clutch games for the Browns when he came in there, or was in some clutch moments in there. So you're going to get some fun. And I enjoy the signing. I think it's a good thing. Again, I think they're out on Aaron Rodgers. Timing is everything. If you look at the quarterback, someone said, well, they can go and get Aaron Rodgers, but Jameis Winston was a first overall pick. He has more clout than a Mason Rudolph does, right? If you're talking about just sheer accolades, he started for a period of time. He's bounced around the league. Mason Rudolph was just a backup with Pittsburgh, and after he left, didn't really do much anywhere else, right? So to me, Jameis Winston's a little bit of a higher tier than a Mason Rudolph, whereas Mason Rudolph can come in for Pittsburgh. If they need him for Aaron Rodgers, they still have a guy that's familiar there. But I just think this is a good move for the Giants. And I do believe they're out on Aaron Rodgers. Just me. But exciting day if you're a Giant fan. You finally get a quarterback. You can now focus on the draft. So let's get it.